Chapter 921. That dude is Trevor Penn? Samson, Jesse, Edward, and the others were shocked, but soon their shock turned into snickers. If that was really him, that would have saved them a lot of trouble. In any case, he was going to die. They did not have to do it themselves. The other spectators were excited. Trevor had arrived, that arrogant man who dared to challenge Styles to a fight. They were eager to see how he was going to die that day. At that moment, Logan and Gaston looked at Christopher with caution and distanced themselves from him. Christopher smiled and looked at the top of the hill. He did not expect Wilbur to have any hope of winning. Styles' powers were obvious. Although Wilbur was strong, he was most probably not as strong as a super sanctuary level cultivator. That was why he reckoned that Wilbur was no match for Styles. Christopher had already accepted his fate. At that moment, Wilbur flew to the top of the hill only to see an old man in a fisherman outfit with his hands behind his back sizing him up with a cold gaze. "Are you Trevor Penn?" "The one and only," Wilbur calmly replied. Styles sized Wilbur up for a long time before chuckling and saying, "No one has dared to challenge me to a fight for a very long time. You've really brought some surprises to my monotonous life. You're a super sanctuary level cultivator, yet you do such despicable things. The surprises in your life will come sooner or later. Behave yourself, kid. If not, you will die a terrible death." "Behave?" Wilbur said with a smile. "Were you behaving yourself when you got Christopher to kidnap the wealthy businessman? Even I feel embarrassed on your behalf." "How dare you? I initially wanted to spare your life, but now it seems that you shouldn't be left alive." While talking, a terrifying spiritual pressure and blazing spiritual flames erupted from Styles. The spiritual pressure enveloped the entire Mount Roma. Instantly, everyone exclaimed and cheered, as expected of a super sanctuary level cultivator. His terrifying spiritual pressure managed to cover a huge area. That was not something a regular sanctuary level cultivator would be able to achieve. The super sanctuary level was indeed intimidating. Right at that moment, Wilbur snickered. He also started lighting up his spiritual flames. A great spiritual pressure erupted as well. Both of their spiritual pressure clashed violently and formed a tornado on top of Mount Roma. Winds howling, trees fell and sand flew everywhere. The wild winds howled, echoing all around the top of Mount Roma. The cultivators down the hill watching the showdown were dazzled. Styles and Wilbur had yet to officially fight, yet it already looked terrifying. They did not imagine what would happen next. Just when their spiritual pressures thrashed violently, Styles sneered. He placed his palms together. The spiritual energy in him got even more violently intense. "Kid, I'll let you witness my realm demon. It would be an honor to die this way." Styles started the fight with his ultimate move right away, which was also his domain. The realm demon, a space rift over 20 meters long, appeared right above his head. A terrifying spiritual aura accompanied by an inhuman roar came from the space rift. Wilbur counterattacked by summoning his Thundercleaver. The spiritual flames burned even stronger as he looked at the space rift coldly. Right at that moment, two gigantic hands appeared from the space rift, holding both sides of the rift as if trying to tear it apart. The hands were about 2 to 3 meters in circumference, looking like a huge green boulder, with runes all over its surface.